Happy New Year from the Henderson Bowls Club and the $30,000 Trust New Zealand Bowls Open on another balmy day out here in West Auckland, and one of the marquee events, the Women's Singles Final. Stephen McIver with commentator Terry Scott. Joe Edwards, World Pairs Champion in the singles, up against this rising up-and-comer from New South Wales and Lisa Prideaux.
Yes, a state player in New South Wales, certainly be on the back foot, but she's put in some very good performances on the way through to the final, so let's not write her off.
And the one thing we have seen in the late last year, Terry, some fine bowls on this rink.
We certainly have. We've seen some excellent play in the series that we've had so far, particularly last week when we saw the pairs combinations playing. Let's see if we can carry on today.
All right, the women's singles, it's Edwards versus Prideaux.
Welcome to the new year and the Trust New Zealand Open Women's Singles, the prestige event from the Burnside Bowling Club with the recent World Pairs title underabouters. Joe Edwards up against Lisa Prideaux from Australia. With me in the commentary position is another world-class bowler from Australia, Lindsay Armitage, who also won a gold medal in the fours at Christchurch early last year. Lindsay, well, you know a little bit more about this than what I do from the Australian point of view in respect of Lisa Prideaux. You've obviously come up against Joe on a number of occasions previously in events that you have played in, but can you give us a little bit of a background regarding Lisa?
Yeah, this is probably one of Lisa's biggest achievements so far, making the final of this event. She's a standout lead back in Australia, playing for St John's Park, leading for the Australian representative and St John's skip Claire Duke. So she's pretty solid in her draw shots and goes pretty well. I'm sure she'll be a little bit nervous at the beginning of this game, being her first major singles tournament. It'll be very interesting to see how she goes against a very experienced Joe Edwards.
Well, she's certainly put together a classy performance so far coming through to this final. She had a tiebreaker game in her semi-final against one of New Zealand's up-and-coming players in Genevieve Belladonna. That was in the quarter-final, and in the semi-final against Tanya Wrigley. She was reasonably convincing in her play. However, the results only indicated that she won it by 8-7 and 7-all. Remembering, of course, that the singles competition is in sets play, each bowler having 4 bowls. They play 9 ends. 2 sets of 9 ends, and if there is one of them wins the 2 sets, they will take out the title. 1 set each, and we will then go into a 3-ended tiebreaker. Sets can, of course, be drawn as Lisa Prideaux delivers her 3rd bowl, a little bit scattered and some early nerves. However, the players will settle in, and we see Lisa Prideaux settling in very quickly with this bowl. It is the shot. Electing to play on the forehand. There's Joe Edwards. On the backhand. With her 3rd bowl. Joe Edwards, of course, recognised as one of New Zealand's leading women bowlers. Absolutely fantastic record, which I mentioned earlier, culminated with the World Bowls gold medal pairs in Christchurch, an event that she also won at the 2004 World Bowls. A classy player in her own right. Playing now out of the Burnside Bowling Club in Christchurch, having shifted there from the Nelson district. Lisa Prideaux with her last bowl. But at the moment, Lindsay, it looks as though Joe Edwards may just hold the shot. The black bowl there that we can see of Joe Edwards at the bottom of the screen could well be the shot.
Yeah, I think it is. I'd be surprised if he doesn't draw another one here. There's plenty of room there for Joe. As you mentioned, she's a high-class player, and leaving her that much room is a big call, but we'll see how it goes down there.
Well, we see the bowl, the final bowl on this end. Joe Edwards looks to have a lot of weight on. Well, getting attuned to the green. Both the players have had 2 trial ends. We would have anticipated that the bowls would have been a little bit closer in the opening end. However, it is the one shot to Joe Edwards. And this is the bowl that drew the shot. first of the 9 ends completed. Jo Edwards shakes her head when she played that bowl, thinking, well, this is a little bit quicker than I anticipated.
Yeah, I don't think she predicted that'd be the shot at the end of the end there, but it was close enough, and that's all you got to do, get closer than your opponent.
Yeah, exactly right there, and I'm sure she didn't. And the greens, of course, running at around about 18.5, 19 seconds, something that you're probably not used to from an Australian point of view so much.
No, they're very different. We do have sort of quick greens back home, but when they're this quick, we take so much green, a lot more green than they take here, and yeah, they really fly when you come to New Zealand, so it's just a bit of, you got to find your touch and yeah, not play so much weight, a lot less than you think you should.
Well, it's Lisa Prideaux, the opening bowl on the second end, reasonably well weighted. Trying to continue flying the Australian flag. Of course, we seen last week an excellent game in the men's Peers final. The exuberance of Mark Jacobson, who played outstanding in that game. Controlled it from woe to go. And now the Australian contingent wishes to continue that fine performance. Speckled bowl. Oh.
Uh-oh.
I wondered, actually. I saw that in her hand, and I thought, has she put her disc on the wrong way? And I thought I saw a little disc on the inside. Well, that is nerves, isn't it?
It might ease the nerves, actually, that one. Have a little giggle, let them out.
Hey, at least she took the opportunity to have a laugh about it herself.
Yeah.
It's what we call a wrong bias, headed totally in the wrong direction. And I just wondered when she was holding it in her hands. I hadn't had enough time to sort of study the discs on the bowls. And however, she had a chuckle, and I'm sure she'll settle down from it. There's Jo Edwards, certainly settling down. Be happy with that. And let's have a wee check on the bowl from Lisa Prideaux. Hello, we're going in the wrong direction, team.
Had such a good line on that one too.
Oh, she knows herself there, doesn't she? Very quickly. Yeah, she's had a chuckle about it.
Here's a good one coming in here, I think.
Well, it's a marvellous correction. Very good. Jo Edwards, born in Liverpool in England. Now in New Zealand, has been here for a long time. Of course, married to the New Zealand coach, Dave Edwards. I'm sure there's a lot of tips around the kitchen table. A lot of discussion about bowls. Lisa just changing her hand, Lindsay.
Yeah, it's a bit surprising that she's sort of played three or a couple on the other side and just changing over for a last bowl. Not going to make it. As we mentioned before, it's probably a bit of a nervous start for her. Hopefully she'll get into the game a bit as the game progresses.
I'm sure she will. I'm sure she will. It's, as you said, the biggest event that she has played in. Getting through the final is no mean achievement in itself. Jo Edwards, her last bowl on this, the second end. Looking pretty good as well as we see it drifting in towards the jack, and she sit on the red bowl. She does, but falls out. So it's just the one shot. That's the one shot to Jo Edwards, the green disc bowl we see there sitting on the right-hand side. There's our marker, Karen Hemmer, who was in the triples final, the women's triples final, as we see the last bowl from Jo Edwards coming down, and it looks to be pretty much on target. Unfortunately for her, catching the outside edge of the red bowl and falling out. However, happy to score the one shot, remembering there's 9 ends to be played in each set. Jo Edwards scoring on the first 2 ends, just singles, but she is underway. Remembering that the jack has to be 23 metres from the mat. 27 metres, of course, is the distance that we time a green over. Greens here running it, as we said earlier, around about 18.5 seconds. Great opening bowl. Jo Edwards electing to give the mat and the jack away. The winner of the previous end, of course, has the option as to whether they wish to deliver the jack or give it to their opposition. Jo Edwards, in the first couple of ends, has decided to give it to Lisa to deliver, meaning that Jo will have the last bowl. We tend to find a lot amongst the women that they like to take the jack, Lindsay, and the men tend to give it away. Do you have any preference yourself?
Personally, I like to give it away. In Australia, the national team sort of tends to play a lot like the men. Having a last bowl is such a huge advantage, especially if you're on song and playing really well. Some people in the other ladies' games like to roll the jack to get a feel of the pace, see how it's going. Try and nail it with the first bowl and put the pressure on from the first go. So I guess it's individual preference, and Jo's such a classy player, she can get it with her last bowl all the time. So
yes, there is quite a bit of controversy about the ruling itself, and many people are in favour of going back to the old rule that if you win the end, you must take the jack. They believe that there's too greater advantage, particularly players at this level, having the last bowl on a continual basis, that many ends do change on the last bowl. So it'll be interesting to see going forward as to what is actually done in respect of it. But at the present time, this is what we are playing under, and we will continue to do so until there is any change. Jo Edwards, second bowl. At the moment, it's each player having delivered 2 bowls. Jo Edwards having a reasonably convincing wins in both her semi-final and her final. Semi-final and quarter-final. In her semi-final, she beat Estelle He 12-3 and 8-4, and in her semi-final against Joanne Waiwai, of course, the New Zealander who's now over in Australia, she had a 12-2 and 9-1 win in those. So very convincing performances to date from Jo Edwards, wanting to continue that into this final. At the moment, she's on the forehand, very short end. Looks to be heavy.
They just seem to be hanging out a lot down that side there. It's taken a few bowls for Jo to get there. I'll be surprised if she doesn't correct with her last bowl.
Yes, and we see Lisa certainly going down a lot tighter line. She was playing with reasonably tight bowls, and as she delivers there on the forehand, we can see her tracking towards the jack, certainly taking a lot less green than what Jo Edwards was taking. Just to be heavy on this occasion. Just not entirely sure he's got the shot here, Lindsay. It's between the red bowl in front of the jack and Jo Edwards' bowl.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The marker hasn't really indicated who has the shot. Down this end, it sort of looks like the red one.
However, Jo Edwards delivers. Drops her head a little bit, but I'm not exactly sure why, because it seems to be tracking towards the jack. As to whether it's going to draw enough again, that's going to be the big thing. And it doesn't. Simply what you said earlier on, Lindsay. She's throwing them a little bit too wide down there. It might be an indication that it's the black bowl the shot.
It is a black
Okay,
bowl.
here folks, Lisa Garrick-Prideaux is on the board. 3, in fact, is it...
Lisa Prideaux, the mother of 2, plays out of the St John's Park, a bowling club in Australia, in Sydney. Very strong club, bowls in Australia. It's produced some very good internationals. Lisa Prideaux, a state representative, looking to put in a good performance here today. Project herself onto the eyes of the Australian selectors. It's Jo Edwards on the forehand. Well, that's a better bowl from Jo Edwards.
Yeah, it's a good changeover down there for Jo. I think there's a lot more turn down there, and she's sort of confident on the draw. It's a great opener for her down that side.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see when they come back, Lindsay, as to whether she decides to go down that side of the green, going in the other direction, because she played the forehand from our commentary end. They're playing towards our commentary position now. So it'll be interesting to see if Jo does make a change, because it seems to be getting a better drawback on it.
Yeah, that's right. I've got a feeling she might change going back down that way. Although, even though she did score, it probably wasn't her best end. So she'll be confident on this side of the green, I imagine, now with a start like that.
Certainly so, and it's Jo Edwards delivering her second bowl. Looks to be pretty much on track again as we see it, heading towards a very similar line to her previous bowl. Look at this from Jo Edwards. It's some classy stuff. That's why she's got a couple of World Bowls titles. Jo Edwards, fantastic. As we see the bowl again from Jo Edwards. Just tracking in towards the jack. Thank you very much. Gives me two. Lisa, her second bowl. I did see some of her earlier games, Lindsay. Does she have an aggressive shot in her armoury, or is she...
It's hard to say. I don't know a lot about her, but being a lead, probably not. She's not as aggressive player as Jo is, as a high-class skip. So I'm surprised a lot of people probably would have played weight to that head, having the best two back bowls. It's quite a wide target.
Yes, it certainly looked like it from our position that Jo Edwards, two bowl target, jack partially in the middle. We can see it there, the two black bowls of Jo Edwards. I think I would have been probably playing with aggression, but that's why I'm sitting here and not out playing in the tournament. Well, the pressure continues to mount from Jo Edwards. Standing on the mat and looking as if she perhaps is in a draw position, but we'll wait and see. And yes, it is. Electing to draw, believes that she can cut the count back. Well, how well has she done here, Lindsay?
She's trying hard. Needs to see. Oh, unlucky there. May have cut one.
Yes, I certainly think she's reduced the count. Jo possibly still got the shot. The bowl that we can see sitting to the left here, I think, is definitely out of the count. It's Karen Hemmer, our marker for today. Jo Edwards, I think, still will have one shot anyway. Drawing on the backhand. Well, had to change hands for safety reasons. Has she got enough juice behind it?
Needs to turn hard.
Has she got enough juice behind it to turn? And doesn't, but a pretty good effort from Jo Edwards. Well, the players will come up and have a look at the situation.
Yep.
Well, as night follows day, the scoring is following as it has previously, with ones being scored on the three previous ends. The opening bowl from Lisa Prideaux, exactly what I said. There's not a difficulty for her.
Great start there by Lisa.
It's an excellent start.
It's quite difficult on maximum length ends to get that close, so she's done very well. So important to get your first bowl, put the pressure on.
Oh, certainly so, and particularly after they've been playing the shorter length ends, both players now need to adjust, and the length of the end is some probably 6 or 7, 8 metres further than what it was. So there's adjustment need to be made by both bowlers, and they've adapted reasonably well to it. Jo Edwards coming up a couple of metres short. Second bowl. Lisa. Getting the applause from the crowd already as they recognise that it's going to be a good bowl as well. They predicted it early. 2 shots. Part of the crowd here was looking on. The Henderson Bowling Club. Cloudy skies. But perfect conditions for bowling.
Nice road in again here from Joe. Needs to sit on something. Oh, and she does. Falls out.
Third bowl. Remember that each player has 4 bowls to deliver in singles. On the backhand. Pretty much on track again here, Lisa. Oh, look at it drift on by. Well, never expected it to go that far through. Looked to be pretty much on target. Shows how quick this green is. You can see the green there, the starweed green. Hardy old weed it is. Pat on the side. Joe, I think, may have given this a little bit too much weight as well.
Yep, she knew it. It's going by.
You do know, don't you, the bowl can only be a metre out of your hand, and you know exactly then that you're going to be heavy.
Well, she actually loses that one in the ditch. That's unusual for Joe.
Certainly is. Well, Lisa wants to capitalise on Joe Edwards failing to stay on the playing surface.
Looking on track again.
How good is this? How good is this? Look at it. Outstanding stuff. Great bowl, Lisa Prideaux. Well done. Joe Edwards asked for an indication from our marker. Some of the spectators looking on.
Yep, Lisa's supporters there. We've got a son and a daughter over here,
Oh,
so
that's fantastic.
they'll be cheering Mum on.
Oh, it's great.
Go down. Thank you.
Yeah, we just saw them briefly before there. The son and the daughter of Lisa Prideaux. Here's the replay of the bowl that Mum's just played for you. Look at this. Fantastic, eh? Fantastic. And there's the family. Look at that. Supporting my mum. Well done. Joe Edwards, change of hand. Well, how good is this bowl going to be? There's a big gap there, or is it going to make some connection? Oh, excellent stuff from Joe Edwards. Outstanding, forced to change her hand. Drew the shot, and the crowd applaud because they recognise the ability of this lady and the outstanding bowl that she has just played. Absolutely marvellous. A replay of it. Look at this. Look at this. The bowl had previously been played by Lisa Prideaux is the one that Joe Edwards rests on. Falls in for shot. Outstanding stuff.
Yeah, very important end there for Joe. It's a turnaround of 2 shots, so 6 ends, 3 ends to go, 4 in front. Pretty handy for her there.
Big turnaround. In a game that is so close when only singles are being scored. With the ability of both these players, that's probably what we expect to only be scored. They've worked hard to get through to the final. Played some outstanding bowls, both of them, over the days leading up to this final. See the view down the alleyway of the rink that they're playing on. 2008, although we're now, of course, into 2009 Trust New Zealand Open. Been shown on Sky, of course, over the last 4 weeks, and 1 further week to go with the men's singles. Joe Edwards gone one over to that backhand where she went last time. A good opening bowl. Just wondering whether Lisa might look at changing as well.
You predicted it. Good change over here from Lisa, I think. Doesn't want to crash on her front bowl there.
Yes, certainly so. We can see the front red bowl on the left-hand side of the screen. She didn't want to make any connection with that, so took the open hand as she studies it, travelling towards the jack, coming up short. Let's go back to what we talked about earlier on, Lindsay, the advantage of that last bowl, and that was evidenced, wasn't it, by Jo Edwards,
Yeah.
and a situation where Lisa wished to change the length of the end. She did to the long end, gave Jo Edwards an opportunity to get a bit of a feel with the first couple of bowls. Last bowl in hand, thank you very much.
Yeah,
I'll just take the
that's
shot off
right.
you.
With such a quality player like Jo, she's used to all lengths and doesn't really prefer one to another, which is why she doesn't mind what length to play. So, yeah, the huge bowl, last bowl was a huge advantage there for Jo.
Third bowl from Lisa. Looks to be heavy. Just starting to spray them around a little bit on this end. Needs to tighten up a bit.
Just overcorrecting there a little bit. It's easy to do on these greens. You think you just add, you know, a little foot or a couple of feet and you fly on through, and very tricky.
Makes it extremely awkward, doesn't it?
It does. Very frustrating for yourself as well.
Yes. Well, these players can't afford to let the frustrations take a roll. Edwards up for 2 shots.
Yeah.
Well, Lisa, you're 2 behind or 2 down at this stage on this end. 4 behind on the scoreboard. You need to pull one out of the bag. On the backhand again, as we see the bowl tracking towards the jack.
Looks a lot better here.
Certainly does. Is she going to pick up the jack?
Ooh.
Well, she would have reduced the count, I think. I think it's definitely still 1 to Jo. The black ball we can see on the left-hand side, an indication from our marker. Karen Hember has confirmed that. So it's 1 shot to Jo Edwards. Wants to add the bonus shot, as we call it. Holding 1. Last bowl to be played. Wants to make it 2. Very wide, but it is drawing back a long way on this hand. Here it comes, tracking back towards the jack. Will it track back far enough? Not sure if it has. Get an indication, maybe 2. Definitely 1 to Jo Edwards. We get an indication, I think it's 2. They didn't even think about measuring it. It's 2 shots. The lollipops are up for Jo Edwards.
7 shots to 1.
So last bowl of Jo Edwards. As I said, the bonus shot taking Jo Edwards out to a 6-point lead, 6-shot lead. 7-1 up in the first set. They're playing 9 ends, they do. Jo Edwards scores on this end. She will have won the set, because the maximum, of course, that Lisa Prideaux would be able to score on the final end would be 4. At the moment, she is 6 behind. Needs to really look at saying to herself, well, the best option is to try and draw this set. And that means picking up 3 shots on each of the next 2 ends.
It does. She really needs to get her first bowl there and get as many bowls in the head as she can to enable her to score. No, I don't think that one's going to count down there.
No, comes up well short. Good. Couple of 3 metres short of the jack. So you get the view over to the stand. some of the crowd here at the Henderson Bowling Club today for this women's final between Jo Edwards from the Burnside Club in Christchurch.
Great opening there by Jo.
And, it's all class from Jo Edwards.
She's really found her range now. Lisa gave her the opportunities to get close, left her too much room, and she's capitalising on that now.
Certainly is. The jack now moved off centre. Readjustment of the radar for Lisa Prideaux. We can see the jack off the centre line by, just a short metre. She's adjusted pretty well to it, though. She's adjusted pretty well to it. Look at this. Look at this from Lisa Prideaux. Great stuff. This is what this crowd has come along to see, and they applaud it justifiably. Excellent bowl from Lisa Prideaux. I think, just to me, we get between the black and the black bowl and the white. I think it's the red bowl's got the shot.
It'll be pretty hard for Lisa to get 2 out of that one, so even though it's a good bowl.
Yeah, this is the difficulty she's now going to face, isn't it, Lindsay, that she needs to score more than 1. 1's no good for her. And Jo Edwards, look at this. She's just got to say to herself, well, I'll put my bowls round about. I don't have to have the shot. If I only drop 1, I'm going to be happy.
Yep, she'll be happy with that one behind there.
Yes, the bowl from Lisa Prideaux. This was outstanding. The jack had been moved off the centre line. Picks it up, trails it, just touches the black bowl, then comes back to the red bowl. It's the one shot at the moment to Lisa Prideaux. She needs to get this one close, and hopefully with her last can create something out of it. Yeah, well, she's certainly going to be putting it close. Well, she's probably given the shot away, but it doesn't matter in the context of the game because she needs to score.
That's
she needs
right.
to score.
She's given herself a chance.
Yeah, 2's the minimum she has to score. Karen Hema has a study of it and says it's so close. It's only close for the shot, Jo.
Thank you.
Favours Jo Edwards. We saw her finger stick out as the second or third bowl from Lisa Prideaux. Right into the target area. Move the jack back a little bit to Jo Edwards. Jo would be, what, just keen to get another one handy?
I think so, yeah. It's going to be really hard for Lisa to get that black bowl out without moving the jack, so anything just behind the head will be handy here for Jo.
Well, Lisa needs to score at least 2 to stay in the set. So she's got 2 handy ones there. I think she'll go for a little walk and study the situation. She's got options possibly on the forehand of pushing the black bowl through. Going to be very difficult. So they have to be the near perfect shot as Jo Edwards looking to wrap up the first set after only 8 of the 9 ends. Family all watching on. Come on, Mum. You can do it. Well, she's on the backhand. It's the hand that she has favoured coming this particular direction. She needs to just draw underneath her red bowls, I think, doesn't she, to try and make connection. Well, she's wide. She's wide. It's the first set to Jo Edwards. It's a 7, well, probably 8-1 to Jo Edwards. She's got 1 bowl left to play. She doesn't need to worry about it. She, however, will go back and play it probably. She's got the first set wrapped up firmly in the bank, that one.
Yeah, I don't imagine she'll be going anywhere near this. Probably just throw this one down for a practice.
Yeah, well, probably use it just to give her a practice, perhaps drawing to the ditch or something in case she may have to later on in the game.
That's correct.
There she is. She's just wants to continue getting a feel of this green. The situation is that at the moment, Jo Edwards, I'm sure, has got the 1 shot. There was indication from our marker, Karen Hema, and 1 shot to Jo Edwards. Well, we know she's got the wrapped up because it's impossible. It's the end of the first set, and they still actually have 1 more end to play, but it's the completed insofar as Jo Edwards is concerned. She has wrapped up the first set. It's the one shot to her, and she takes out the first set by 8-1. Okay, the final end in the first set. Lisa Prideaux delivering the jack once again. Been handed to her from Jo Edwards. 8-1 up the final end, the 9th end, as we view the skies over Auckland. I'm sure Jo Edwards would think that the skies over Christchurch would be a lot clearer than that. Lisa Prideaux. Well, she would have dearly loved some more bowls that close earlier on in this set. The set, of course, having been won by Jo Edwards, leading by 8-1 after 8 ends. Yeah, but be played out.
Yeah, Lisa will be using this end to try and get a bit of rhythm down that side, find a weight control. She knows she can't win, so just use it for a bit of practice and have a bit of confidence going into the second set.
Just wondered really, Lindsay, whether it might have been an opportune time for her to go over onto the hand that Jo Edwards is playing. There's nothing on this end. Gives her the opportunity to perhaps see if how she was handling it, and maybe even if she wasn't perhaps getting the shot, she could have started getting in the way of Jo Edwards, forcing Jo to perhaps change her hand.
Yep, that's correct. That's a really good tactic. A lot of people tend, if the game's not going your way, even if you sort of feel like you're playing well, they're outplaying you. Just change your hand, change something, change the tempo of the game, anything to sort of try and swing it your way. Would have been probably an opportune time for her to do that, but...
Okay, so we've got the last end of the first set. Jo Edwards on her backhand. She started on the forehand going in this direction, had 4 reasonably loose bowls, and immediately on the next time changed to her backhand. Forehand. Intently watching her bowl go down the green. And token applause from the crowd. Need to liven up a little bit, this crowd. So we go over to the stands, right down the sideline of the rink. Look at them. Come on, they need to liven up. Jo Edwards.
Jo just having a few loose ones here, which is unusual. She may have relaxed a little bit, knowing she's already won the first set.
Yes, well, she'll be pleased that she's probably got the set under her belt if she's going to play like that. Yes, certainly won't be happy. What it does do is it probably gives Lisa, it builds her confidence a little bit and says, hey, look, I can actually get them. And I can actually do better than what I did in the previous set.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, this end, if she happens to score 3, that will do a lot for her confidence. And being sets play, as we mentioned earlier in the match, gives her another chance. Just let the first set go, doesn't matter. Start again, start fresh.
The final bowl of the first set of the Trust New Zealand Women's Open being delivered by Jo Edwards. 3 down. Not that that will have a huge effect on the result of this set, but putting pressure under herself, Jo Edwards, to perhaps draw the shot. She's done very, very well. Still going to be at least 1 to Lisa Prideaux. And the first set is completed. The first 9 ends have been completed. Jo Edwards taking out the first set. indication from our lollipop lady is that it was a 1 to Lisa Prideaux. And so the first set finishing 8-2.
The women's singles final is taken out by Jo Edwards.
Last bowl of Jo Edwards we see coming in. Great overhead view of it.
Underway with the second set.
Second shot. Well, commencement of the second set. We go into the battle once again of 9 ends. There's a lot of text messages being sent around the country as to Jo Edwards' friends and family and acquaintances saying, yep, she won the first set. Lisa Prideaux continuing on the same hand that she has played throughout this match, delivering the first bowl. Oh, the crowd love it. They're coming to life now.
Yeah, that was the start Lisa was after. First bowl of the first set.
Yep. Certainly so. Great stuff. Jo Edwards sticking to the other side of the green that she has handled so well throughout this match so far.
Looking close again here.
Oh, just underneath the jack. Well, pretty good effort from Jo Edwards. Second bowl from Lisa's just slightly wider this time. Needs to get inside the black bowl. Jo Edwards fails to do so. Very good first up bowl. She needed to add to that. It's Jo Edwards. Tall, upright stance. Down, delivers. Absolutely beautiful.
Wider line on this one here.
Yes, we can see the bowl now starting to track towards the jack. Looks to be heavy once again. Now, a little bit of looseness. Very tense crowd studying the situation. Here they are. Lisa, third bowl, drawing past the jack. Certainly looks good enough to be another shot.
Jo just needing to correct her weight now. Her line was spot on.
Yes, if she can combine the first two bowls, the weight of one and the line of the other, she will be pretty close to the target area. How's she looking at the moment, Lindsay?
Trying hard, needs to duck quickly. It's on its way. Needs to run. Pretty handy.
Yes, well, the crowd give her applause, but I think she still may be one down. Certainly looks to be the red bowl as we see it on screen. Lisa has asked the question, and acknowledgement of what the marker said, and indicating to her that she had the one shot. There we go, the Henderson Bowling Club in the background. As Lisa Prideaux continues down on the backhand. Looking to be pretty much on target. Will she pick up the jack? Oh, that's excellent stuff from Lisa Prideaux. That's why she is in the final. Forget about the first set. She's back.
Please, Karen. Sorry. Who's got fourth shot, please?
Jo Edwards checking as to who has got fourth shot, because I'm sure she wants to play an aggressive shot to this, but she doesn't wish to remove Her black one because the situation was created from this bowl. Look at that. The star. The star on the bowl. Jo Edwards. Is she going to play with some weight? I think she might be. Looks to be a little bit quicker than she's been in the past. Will it turn in time? That's going to be the big question. Tracking back towards the jack now. How is she placed here?
Very
She's
close.
got to be
Any
close.
movement on that bowl? Great shot there by Jo.
Look at this. That's outstanding stuff from Jo Edwards. Oh, just absolutely marvellous. Oh, she breathes a sigh of relief, but I don't know why, because she was on target the whole way through with that bowl. Absolutely outstanding. Oh, marvellous stuff, Jo Edwards.
Superb bowl, folks. Jo Edwards again with a brilliant last bowl, and takes the
Look at this, the bowl from Jo Edwards.
set.
Gets onto the shot bowl, catapults the jack backwards, and hello, we've got one black bowl sitting at the back, and she knots it on, doesn't she?
She likes
Excellent
that
stuff.
one.
Oh, she's strapped with that. Yep, a great shot from Jo Edwards. I don't sort of really want to harp back to it, but once again, it's that last bowl situation, isn't it?
That's correct. Someone with the skill of Jo, you can't give those opportunities. She plays perfect weight, perfect line, and gets the results like that. It's heartbreaking.
And certainly heartbreaking for Lisa Prideaux. She played an outstanding bowl herself to trail the jack, hold 2 shots. She couldn't do anything more about it after she had completed her bowls. But it was the skill and finesse from Jo Edwards. Opening bowls. This is the second end. Remembering, as we said earlier, each a set of 9 ends. And the situation is that if Lisa Prideaux wins this set, we will then go into a 3-end tiebreaker. At the moment, it's Jo Edwards, the winner of the first set by 8-2. 1-0 up in the second set. Thinking to herself, well, hopefully, we've only got another 8 ends to go in this game. I want to wrap it up. There's Lisa Prideaux. Track towards the jack, but a bit too much weight. Still plenty of room for Jo Edwards. Sticking to the side of the green that she has been so successful so far in this game. Jo Edwards. Very handy. Still heavy as well. Disappointed with herself. A little bit loose.
Knowing that one's too wide there for Lisa.
See, Lisa did play the other hand with her previous bowl.
She did.
Now, there was not really any great reason why she needed to change, was there?
No, well, I suppose we don't really know what she's thinking. She may think those short bowls are in her line. As we mentioned before, she does have quite a narrow set of bowls.
Yeah, certainly.
So, yeah, that was an interesting decision.
Yep, good call. And now, of course, Jo Edwards decided that I might try that hand as well. Didn't go too good on it earlier on. See if I can master it now. Well, here we go. The skill of a champion. Just needs to change something. Here we go, on the forehand. Looks to be a little bit wide. I don't know, but depends on what her weight is. It's starting to come back now, but whether it will come back quick enough, I don't think so. Oh, that was probably a well-weighted bowl. She picked that jack up, bringing it back to those 2 red bowls, but nevertheless.
Yeah, that was the right weight for Lisa. I just tend to push it a little bit too wide down that side, not coming back much at all, so missed opportunity for her there.
Well, Jo Edwards. I want to capitalise on it. She's got one shot, wanting to make it 2. How will she go? She's taken plenty of green. Will it come back home? It's starting to get there now. It's starting to get there now. It's good stuff from Jo Edwards. 2 shots. She's on fire.
Jo Edwards with the 2 shots and the 3 shots for Lee.
Karen Hema walks to the other end of the green, indicating 2 shots from the bowls that Jo Edwards has played, and this is the second of them. Absolutely outstanding. Plenty of room for her. She got a feel of it with her previous one. She said, I'll make it 2.
Thompson and Mark Jacobson from Australia winning the men's tiers over Tony Fabling and Brian Cathro.
Very good opening bowl. The third end of the second set.
Another great opener from Jo down that side. She's really found her rhythm down there, playing so nicely, grouping really well.
Yes, and we can see the Australian supporters there. Mark Jacobson, of course, who last week won the men's tiers title along with Robbie Thompson, and outstanding display by Mark Jacobson. Delighted the crowd that was here at Henderson Club.
And he's a big character, Mark Jacobson, and yeah, very entertaining for the game. Lisa just switching hands there. Just overplaying it a little bit.
Yes, I think she needs to have a look at seriously staying on the hand that Jo Edwards is on, more to perhaps try and disrupt her.
Yeah, at the moment, Jo's just got free reign of it down there. She's really taking control.
Second bowl of Jo Edwards. A little bit heavier on this occasion, but she won't be worried. Gives me something behind. Lisa, of course, generally plays in the lead position, not renowned for playing weighted shots, and we saw her drawing ability earlier on. She wishes to continue that on this occasion. You see the red bowl.
Needs to hurry quickly.
Doesn't get there. Well, she's delivered 3. She's only got one more to rescue the situation, or Jo Edwards will continue marching on to take out this title. Third bowl from Jo Edwards. She stalks it down the green part of the way. She's liking it. Will it get to the jack? Will it get to another shot? She reaches her previous bowl. May not be in the count though. I think there's still only just the one shot. Yes, we've had Lisa Prideaux asked our marker Karen Hema as to what the position is, and we can see from our commentary position that she is only the one down.
She's a bit undecided here what to play, switching hands again, I think.
Opportunity for her to play with some weight to try and move the shot bowl through, perhaps even on the forehand. I'd like to go the backhand. She has. Well, this is the first sign of aggression from Lisa Prideaux. And look at this. Is she pretty much on target, isn't she? Great stuff. Great stuff. Well, excellent bowls and a justifiable applause from the crowd. We haven't the first time we've seen it, Lindsay.
Yeah, she'll be happy with that one. Very good result. Great weight. Very aggressive. Worked out well.
That's great stuff from Lisa Prideaux. Got the beautiful split.
Thank you.
Big bowl here for Jo Edwards. She misses this. It'll be all even on the third end.
Oh, what a confidence booster for Lisa. Jo Edwards forced to change her hand on the backhand. As we see it tracking down the green. How's it looking? How's it looking? Gonna be heavy, is it? Oh, this is not bad. She certainly reduced the count. She certainly reduced the count. It may only be the one, but it may be one to Jo Edwards, would it be? It's close. I think Lisa has indicated that she has it, but Jo Edwards having a good look over the top. Certainly looks to be the red bowl. Yep, and Jo Edwards kicks it out. It's one to Lisa Pradais.
Great save there by Jo. Saved a couple of shots. She'll be happy with that one.
Yes, the two final bowls played on that end were excellent. And this is the bowl from Lisa Pradais. She's one down, and look at this for a magnificent split. Great stuff. Going through, knocking the jack back, and the three red bowls stay there for the shot. Absolutely outstanding. It's Jo Edwards with her last bowl that had to come to the rescue.
Giving us a smile there, enjoying their bowls here today.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Lisa again kept the mat and persisting with this forehand away from the clubhouse.
Yes, she's been a little bit unsettled in this direction. See if she can improve on this occasion. Good opening effort. So we hear a helicopter going over above us. I hope it wasn't that same one that woke me up at about 2 o'clock this morning. Edwards. First bowl, full length end. That's a good opening bowl as well from Jo Edwards. Just past the jack.
Yeah, I guess that's the danger with Lisa keeping the mat. If she doesn't nail it with her first and Jo does, the pressure's back on her, and she has the last bowl as well. So it's going to be hard here for Lisa.
This is so important to get close with your first bowl. You've got to try and put some pressure on your opposition. Nope. Very, very good reply. She's starting to get the feel of it now.
Yeah, she made the correction there, picked the line and the weight perfectly.
Edwards. Is she going to reach to it? Oh, very good effort. Well, she'll be happy though. It's another bowl on the head. Lisa doesn't have to change too much, I don't think. There's the bowl that she drew the shot with. It's a case of simply coming down the same line with her next one. Very, very good bowl.
Sounds very easy, that, Terry. Do the same thing. A bit harder than it looks.
That's why they're in the final.
I guess that's true.
Yeah. Oh, she got enough weight. She's pulling up short. No, be disappointed.
Coming out of the frame with part of the plan. Coming out of the frame with part of the plan.
Jo Edwards. Continuing on the backhand.
Playing weight this time.
Certainly looks as though she is. How's she tracking? Wide, and it is. Yep, well, Jo Edwards looking to remove the offending shot bowl.
important here for Lisa to make this bowl count. Doesn't want to leave her one shot bowl vulnerable.
It certainly is at the moment. Delivering on the forehand, studying it as it travels towards the jack. Maybe touch wide. She needs to be inside that her own red bowl. Well, of course, the concern that comes in here now for Jo is that any movement to the back of the jack is going to put her in a worse position than what she presently is.
That's right. She's probably thinking one down's not too bad. If I guess you've got to think of the result. If things go bad here, she could drop a 3 with Lisa's 2 bowls back there. So she'll probably be in 2 minds about what to play.
Just wondering whether the option might be to come on the forehand, that if the jack does go back, her bowl will go back with it.
Looks like that's a plan here.
On the forehand, Jo Edwards, the last bowl of this, the 4th end of the 2nd set. 1 down. Tracking towards the jack. Will she turn in time? Inside edge of that bowl, she can get a result. Right. Okay, it's consecutive ends that Lisa Prideaux has scored on, picking up singles on the 3rd and the 4th end of the 2nd set. And it's Jo Edwards that leads by 3-2.
Jo's effort there, just wide of the target. 1 down, she'll probably not be too disappointed with that. Lisa will take that one.
Yes, it was a good effort from Jo Edwards, but failed to make contact with the shot to bowl. So it's Lisa Prideaux who continues to take the mat and the jack. Wants to put the pressure on Jo Edwards. Wants to get the bowls right in on the jack. Well, the opening bowl on this occasion is high, wide and handsome.
Bit of a wild one there for Lisa.
It is a wild one. I think it even fell into the ditch. Yes, as we see our marker, Karen Hema, runner up in the triples. Pick up the bowl out of the ditch and put it up on the bank. The only time, of course, that bowl would stay alive in the ditch was if it had previously touched the jack in its original journey. Jo Edwards.
Jo coming through as well.
Yes,
Wind may have picked up a little bit.
Yes, well, it certainly could have. And a bit of a tailwind getting in behind the players. We can just see the trees in the background there wafting away.
Pretty good correction here from Lisa.
Very good correction. It's a shot. Yeah, still runs through again though. Gee, that's over a good metre past the jack. It's a fine line between good and bad. Second bowl looks like an improvement from Jo Edwards as well.
Yep, good enough for shot there from Jo.
Bowl number 3, Lisa Prideaux. It's been an improvement on her previous one again, by the looks of it. Oh, look at this, it just seems to travel on through, Lindsay.
Yeah, probably will be the shot there, good enough. You would expect Jo to correct with this. 1 foot off.
Yes, she had very good line with her previous bowl. Each of Lisa Prideaux's bowls have been corrected. Can Jo Edwards do the same? See it coming into view now on our screen, and I think it's going to be pulling up very short. Disappointment for Jo Edwards, that bowl. A bit of sprayed around here, these the bowls on this end. Look as though they've been thrown out of that helicopter above us. Can we see some improvement here? Well, Lisa Prideaux sits on the Jo Edwards bowl, turns it back for 2 shots, definitely got 2. She's into the scoring mode. Contemplating it, says, well, I've got 2 at the moment.
Yeah, hoping Jo doesn't do it again with the last bowl here.
We've seen it so often, just a distraction for Jo Edwards when she went to deliver that bowl. Readjustment, steps back onto the mat and lines it up again, delivers on the forehand. How's she looking this time, Lindsay?
Oh, I think the weight is better. Needs to hurry, run to the jet. Probably good enough for shot if it falls in.
If it falls in, but it fell out.
Fell out.
Both the players come down and look at the situation. Looks to be very close. Jo Edwards reaches for the measure. Hooked onto the back of her trousers. Says, well, may well have the shot here. Goes to her own bowl first. Then we come around to the 2 red bowls. That one doesn't look to be in. Maybe.
One to Jo.
One to Jo. Okay, so she saved it with her last bowl once again. So 1 shot to Jo Edwards. Another single has been scored. We've seen numerous singles throughout this game, and this is the bowl that Jo Edwards played. And look at it here. Certainly it looked to be the shot until it sat there momentarily, then fell out. However, when they measured it, it still remained the shot. Have been played, and this is the second set. Jo Edwards, the New Zealand international, leading by 4-2. Four further ends to be played. Can Lisa Prideaux hold on and stay in touch with Jo Edwards to force the tiebreaker? Jo Edwards, of course, winning the first set by 8-2. One bowl having been delivered. The second on its way, the first from Jo Edwards. Tracking towards the jack. Looks to be pretty well played. Look at this. She wants to put some pressure on her opposition.
Yeah, she's doing that really well with her first bowl, Jo. Making it difficult for Lisa.
And from an Australian point of view, Lindsay, what's the program going to bring up for you into the new year and going forward from there?
Yeah, we've got a lot happening in the new year. Last year we didn't have any internationals at all. Starting off the year with the Trans-Tasman Series against New Zealand, being played in March in Brisbane. Being fortunate enough to make that side, so that's always a good clash against New Zealand. They're probably our biggest rivals and always close finishes, close results. Then we've got a lot of local stuff. Australian Open is a big event in Australia, being held down in Melbourne. And then I guess all the work goes in towards the Asia Pacific towards the end of October, and that's held in Malaysia.
Yeah, they were certainly looking for an improvement in the Brisbane weather when you play that test series up there.
Yeah, I'm actually from Brisbane myself, and we had pretty bad weather up there last year, towards the end of last year. So normally we're the Sunshine State, so hopefully they'll put the sunshine on for us.
Well, I can tell you that way back a number of years ago, I was involved in a test match against Australia up in Brisbane. We were supposed to be playing at I think it was the Banyo Bowling Club.
Yep.
And it poured raining, and it poured raining, and it poured raining. So they decided to play the test on the indoor surface at Tweed Heads. So we ended up travelling from Brisbane by bus for 3 consecutive days and back home each night down to Tweed Heads to play the event. So there you go. It's nothing's changed insofar as Brisbane's concerned, has it?
A great bowl there by Lisa.
Yeah, it is. It certainly is a great bowl by Lisa. And I can tell you that we weren't too successful. It was none of the New Zealand bowlers, or I think only one of them, Rohan Brassey, at the time had played on indoor surface, so it was pretty foreign to us. And I can tell you that it was one of the occasions that the Australians were successful in winning the Trans-Tasman Trophy. And we're back to the game here at Henderson, where we don't need to worry about any of the rain at all. The only worry at the moment is for Lisa Prideaux.
Shot there by Joe.
She held 2 beautiful shots until Joe Edwards changed the situation.
Yeah,
And
Joe really getting behind that one. She knows how vital this end is going to be for her to score, so she was pretty happy with that one.
And the Trans-Tasman in Australia, in Brisbane, it's coming up. Where's that to be held?
Hendron Under.
Hendron Under.
Yeah, which is near the airport, at Brisbane International Airport. Not far from there, so greens are nice, and hopefully they'll put on a good show for everyone, get the crowds out there and support the Aussies, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of New Zealand support there as well.
Yes, well, I dare say with the league match which was played late last year, the World Cup, of course, we're one up on you at the moment, aren't we?
Yes, however, we have won a few other things. The cricket, for instance. Australia did quite well against New Zealand there. So I'd say we're about even.
It's not one of our strongest sports.
Oh, okay.
Okay, back to the bowls. We've got Lisa Prideaux. 4-2 behind. Pressure's on it. Well, it's travelled through to the ditch. She had to play with some weight to try and get movement of the Joe Edwards bowl. Joe Edwards leading 4-2 playing the 6th end, holding 1 shot. Can she make it 2? She's looking good. She's looking good. Or will she do some damage? Oh, she picks the jack up. Well, trailed it through. A little bit of a wave of the arm. I don't know whether it was satisfaction or dissatisfaction. Okay, couple there. It's Joe Edwards all the way at the present time. She's picking up a 2 on the 6th end, 3 ends to go.
6 ends played in the second set. 6-2.
Oh, look at this from Joe Edwards. Absolutely fantastic, and probably a little bit lucky that she picked the jack up cleanly. Didn't want to knock it back square to any of those red bowls, and picks up the 2 shots to go out to a 6-2 lead. 3 ends to play as Joe Edwards. Opportunity for her to take out the New Zealand Open.
Yeah, I think Jo must really like playing here at Henderson. Last year she was made the semi-finals in this event, unlucky to lose to the eventual winner Sharon Renshaw from Australia. So she's gone a couple better this year, looking to win it here.
And of course Sharon Renshaw, part of your national squad now.
Yes, she is. She's in the Trans-Tasman series we mentioned earlier, so looking forward to that. She's a great player and great team member.
Joe Edwards. Lisa Prideaux. The final of the Truss New Zealand Open 2008. At the Henderson Bowling Club out in the west of Auckland. A beautiful setting in the park here. Magnificent greens. 4 green complex, 3 of them being of the natural surface that they're playing on presently. Starweed surface. Joe Edwards holding a 4-shot lead in the second set. 3 ends to play. 6-2. The pressure's on Lisa Prideaux. She has to win this set to force the tiebreaker. A draw is no good for her. She needs to score 5 shots in the next 3 ends. To do that, I think she needs to pick up at least a 2 on this end. This bowl travelling towards the jack would be the shot. Yes, and we've invariably seen it with Joe's perhaps second or third bowl. It's the third bowl I think has been the most effective coming this way.
Yeah, she's been able to correct nicely, find the right touch just to take a little bit of weight off.
Well, how's the correction
like
this time? Yeah, well, look at this. Magnificent correction from Jo Edwards. That's the class that has made her an international of the status that she has. Lisa Prideaux, her third bowl. Well, she's continued to stick to that side of the green, and I think that possibly at the end of the day may partly lead to her her downfall.
Yeah, I guess that's probably an experience thing. Lisa can learn from this and maybe think about it next time. Hopefully she'll continue to do well, and she can think about that next time, change something. She's just been doing the whole thing, the whole games, the same thing the whole way through, so it's a good experience for her. Yeah.
Certainly so. We've seen it in her previous games that she has the ability to compete at this level, and I'm sure she'll go on to greater things from this experience, and as you said, learn from the fact that it may have been wiser to perhaps move to the side of the green that Jo Edwards has been dominating so much, and we see it now with her last bowl on the 7th end, delivering on the forehand. Needs to perhaps look at some movement to try and make the bowls that are immediately past. We can see the red one there just at the bottom of the screen. She needs that to come into play.
She's got the weight.
She's got the weight all right. Can she get a result off that bowl? Well, she made a connection. It's close for shot. We'll hear whether Karen Hema indicates as to who may have the shot. Looking over the bowls, has indicated 1 down to Jo Edwards. So, well, she's just about in a position she could concede the 1 shot. She won't want to, but it's not going to do her too much harm, I don't think. We'll see how she does with this last bowl, because I'll tell you now, she's certainly looking to be on a pretty good line. She needs to make some connection with the shot bowl. Look at this. Oh, fantastic stuff, Jo Edwards. That is class, isn't it?
Really excited.
Absolutely fantastic, Jo Edwards, sitting the shot ball back for 2. Look at this from Jo Edwards. Magnificent bowl. That is the shot bowl. Pushed out of the head, the 2 black balls of Jo Edwards, and they both become counters, and she picks up the 2 shots to go out to an 8-2 lead. Well, it's all going to be a huge mountain for Lisa Prideaux to climb now. She is 6 shots behind. She needs to score 7 on the next 2 ends. So I am struggling to see her pick up a 4, let alone a 3 against Jo Edwards. The way she is playing so far throughout the game, it's Lisa Prideaux has only scored on 4 ends, and they have all been singles. Remembering the first set was taken out by Jo Edwards 8-2, and she is now leading by that same score. 7 ends into the second set. Some magnificent bowls and a marvellous display she's put on here today for the spectators at the Henderson Bowling Club. Picking up a 2 on the last end. Jo Edwards, 8-2. Lisa Prideaux needing to get them a little bit closer than what she has done so far. Picture of concentration from Jo Edwards.
Yeah, she's not giving in here, Jo. Just wants to finish off the match, keep the pressure on.
Lisa Prideaux, well done, but it may be just a little too late.
Yeah, she'll be wishing she had a few more of those during the match, I'm sure.
Well, it's simply been the case that Jo Edwards has outplayed her, simply not let her backhand. Jo Edwards continuing to do as she's done in the past. The bowl's handy, knowing that Lisa Prideaux can score a single or a two. She's won this match and taking out the title as the New Zealand Open winner.
Well, that's just about the match here, I think.
Yes, Lisa Prideaux putting herself in a position to make it very awkward to score three. She has the one bowl immediately past the jack. We haven't seen it happen as yet. Of course, if the jack does go out of bounds, it is respotted, so a kill is not going to be of any great advantage to her. Now,
Lisa just content to probably draw another one, I guess. I don't know.
well, the match could be just 17.5 seconds over from completion. Lisa Prideaux on her forehand.
That's game over.
That's game over. That's game over. It's Jo Edwards who comes out as the champion of the New Zealand Open. She has won the first set by 8-2. The sole shot that Lisa Prideaux scored on the last end was not enough for her, and the game finishes with Jo Edwards winning the second set by 8-3 to take out the title as the New Zealand Open singles champion.
Jo Edwards, congratulations, women's singles champion at the Trust New Zealand Open. Good first set.
Yeah, it was. You know, set play, you've got to get away to a good start. And, you know, after my trial ends, which all four of my first ones went into the ditch, it was a little bit quicker, so I was pretty happy to get that first set.
Yeah, listening to some of our commentary, the Australians in particular seem to struggle with the fast greens.
Yeah, well, I suppose we have got the quickest greens in the world, and you know, the Starweed surface is a little bit quicker than what we're used to as well, so it will be a little bit foreign to the Australians.
The other real talking point is set play. Do you enjoy set play?
Yeah, I probably prefer the traditional game, but there is times and places for the set play. You know, things like this, it's quite exciting, get the crowd close and a bit of music going, and you know, it is a lot more exciting, I suppose.
And a dominant first set just set you up for the last?
Yeah, it certainly does, but once again, it's like, you know, you win the first set and you start off 0-all. You know, you can win the first set 15-1. Lose the second set 8-7, and all of a sudden you're in a tie-break. So, you know, it's really important to start both sets really, really quickly and get on the board quickly, yeah.
Congratulations, singles champion.
Yeah, thanks very much. Feels pretty good.
All right, Jo Edwards, the Trust New Zealand Open women's singles champion. Don't forget, next week it's the men coming to play from Christchurch. It'll be Shane Sincock, who won in the men's triples, up against the youngster, 21-year-old Matt Gallop.
They took first blood.
This game is over.
Now with the series squared, the action moves to Auckland.
There's a big hit.
The Black Caps are out to strike while the Windies are down.